begins to fade. In shadows deep, our plans are laid. Prophecies in blood are sealed. In the dunes, our fate revealed. Harkonnen's grip begins to fade. In shadows deep, our plans are laid. Prophecies in blood are sealed. In the dunes, our fate will not cave.
Harkonnen's grip begins to fade. In shadows deep, our plans are laid. Prophecies in blood are sealed. In the dunes, our fate revealed. Bene Gesserit weave their schemes. History echoes in our dreams. Houses rise and empires fall. Desert's story holds them all. Water's precious drops we claim. In Arrakis lives our name. From the desert we derive strength to conquer, strength to thrive.
Water's precious drops we claim. In Arrakis lives our name. From the desert we derive strength to conquer, strength to thrive. Strength to thrive. Beneath twin suns, the desert roars, a land of spice and ancient lore. Fremen whispers in the night, dreams of freedom take their flight. Trihudu beneath the sand, power shifts at your command. Golden eyes see futures bright. In the dunes we rise and fight. Ride the worm, hold on tight. Through the storm to the light. Go the banners of the brave. Sands of Arrakis will not cave. Harkonnen's grip begins to fade. In shadows deep, our plans are laid. Prophecies in blood are sealed. In the dunes, our fate revealed. Bene Gesserit weave their schemes. History echoes in our dreams. Houses rise and empires fall. Desert story holds them all. Water's precious drops we claim. In Arrakis lives our name. From the desert we derive strength to conquer, strength to thrive.
Welcome everyone back to the show. Let a few people get in here. How's everyone doing tonight? Man, we already got Lumberdan in. Lumberdan, do you think Dune Awakening will go into open beta with the release of the final episode? No, I don't think so. We probably would have already. It's too close to Christmas now to do open beta. They'd have to have everybody on staff ready to go for all the bugs and all the stuff, crashes, and I assume, I don't know, I never made a game before, but and in that interview with Pirate Software, he said he didn't know when they were going to do an open beta, probably closer to release. So I'm thinking open beta probably maybe February, March time. Yeah, it's a letdown. Too bad because it's the perfect time to play games. I have more time right now too. Man, so what's going on out there, everybody? What is going on? Yeah, no one wants to work on Christmas. I mean, I'm kind of working, but I won't be working on Christmas, but I'm kind of working, skirting the days around the holiday. So, and I'm coming back to work right after New Year Day. I'm going right back to work on the 2nd. So, my job's not too physical, so I couldn't do it anymore after I got out of the army. I try to when I retired, I was like, I'm gonna go do Homeland Security or something, or Border Patrol, and then I realized, no, my body is totally ruined from the army. I probably will never do a physical job ever again. It sucks. I'm nursing a cold army injury right now, re-aggravated. Been limping around the stores with my wife. Dude, I'm getting like tennis elbow and stuff too, like arthritis from elbows. What a nightmare. They say you aged 10, 15 years extra in the military. So I have a body of a 55-year-old or something like that. Man, news. We have some Dune news this week, guys. We have some Dune news. A little bit. Finally, we have a couple stories at least to talk about, not to go digging too far. I was waiting for a couple more people to get in the stream. I started a little earlier because I gotta wake up tomorrow, and then I'm gonna have to manage all this time because we have Dune Prophecy final episode and the live stream tomorrow night, and it's an hour and 30-minute episode apparently. So I gotta get up and pack tomorrow. We're not leaving till Tuesday, but I gotta pack because I have to go to work Monday, and then hit right in the car right when I get back. So I gotta have my stuff packed tomorrow. Yeah, I'm gonna cover. I made a video of the Community. I don't know if you saw it, but then we're gonna talk about it right now too. Oh, you made some art in there, huh? That's pretty cool. In my video, I kind of skipped over the cosplay because it's just not really something I'm really into. Yeah, pretty cool. Man, I'm trying to get at least a couple more people in here. Usually my Saturday stream isn't as good as my Sunday. I post Dune. Man, it sucks. Dune Prophecy is going to end, and then I'll have nobody watching my streams anymore. I got some new songs playing now. More epic-y sounding. People are like, oh, I can't make music, so I use this AI generator, and they're like, you're making Dune stuff, you can't use AI. I'm like, it's all make-believe anyways. People get really worked up about it. I remember when I had some AI photos in some of my videos, like Frank Herbert be spinning in his grave, and I'm like, it's all made up anyways. Doesn't matter. I mean, it doesn't matter. Robots are going to take us over eventually. It might be a couple hundred years, but yeah, it's going to happen. Dune's going to come true, basically. Nothing you can do about it. I should be like I should cover some of those people who are protesting for Dunkin' Donuts. You seen that? I should cover videos on this show like that. Like what's his name? The big time huge streamer. Can't think of his name off the top of my head. He had the fake teeth and all that. He has a dirty house. I can't think of his name. Oh, and a tradies guy. What's the big streamer? I can't think of his name. He had to get all his teeth replaced because he was a dirty guy and his house is dirty. Big time millions of views streamer. Why can't I think of his name? Huge videos. Big time guy. Here, let me go to my home. He'll show up here. There he is. Asmongold, that's his name. Yeah, that I watch all his videos. That huge streamer. Oh wait, that's the video exactly. Yeah, that's the video that showed up on my feed is the one I was watching. Workers plan to shut down Amazon over Christmas. I should react to that video too. I should do those kind of things. Maybe I'll start doing that. Get more content in here. Yeah, I'll find some of his stuff funny. He got in some hot water, didn't he, for saying like Palestinians or Palestinians? Basically, he didn't like that part of the, to put it nicely. He doesn't like that part of the world. I'm like, not a whole lot of people going on vacation there right now. Oh man. Oh, we got a couple more people in here. We got another guy. Let me see if I can get my Techno Lab buddy in here. He might be working. Oh, he might not be home though. Let's see here. Yeah, I was trying to get some more people in here before I kicked off with the news. All right, so we'll wait a couple minutes here. I don't know who we got in here. Can I see? Yeah, the few videos you posted about Dune Spice Wars are cool. Are there any other Dune related games you could play? Oh yeah. There's Spice Wars, Imperium. I have I got the emulator for Dune Sega CD. I got that video up of that. There's Dune 2000, which I have as well. There's not that Dune Spice Wars is probably the most fleshed out modern best game out of all those. Dune Imperium is the next one that's like a newer Dune game that's pretty cool, but it's just a card game. But you can do multiplayer on that card game, so we could fight each other. It's on Steam. It's kind of fun. The AI, the computer cheats like a mofo. I do a lot of videos about it. I lose most of them. The game cheats. That game cheats like a mofo. I wonder if since I got my butt kicked so much to the AI, would I Well, I have videos of that game up already. I just don't have anything recent. The problem with Spice Wars too is it takes a while to play. To do a match, so it's like basically it's gonna take me like 5 hours. Well, I'm getting to the point in that game where I'm pretty good at it, and I can speed the time up. I can 2 times the speed. The key to that game, maybe I should do an updated video on it. But the key to Spice Wars is to rush the spice fields, no matter what faction you are. don't try to like capture everything around you, behind you, and all that in a certain order. You rush the spice fields every time. So even if you have a weird, you know, if you take territory and a weird line to them away from your main base, the city. So did I lose my connection here? There we go. Sorry, I lost my earpiece fell out. Well, that's what I'm gonna do once I get my act together. Is subscribers, well, we can play together. I haven't quite figured out how I'll do that. I'll have to add you guys. Basically, send a Steam request kind of thing. I guess. Is that how we are just within the game? You just have to send me your player name or whatever. I'm not sure how it'll work in Steam. I guess I could change my my Steam name is not Arrakis or anything like that. So I guess I could change that so people could find me easier. And you know what I haven't thought of yet with Dune Awakening? It's yeah, it's going straight to Steam. Is it gonna be on Epic Games and all that too, or is it only gonna be on Steam on PC? That's what I'm wondering. They haven't said, have they? I know for sure it's on Steam. So I guess to make it easier for everybody, I might have to change my name in Steam. I changed my little, you know, screen name in Discord too. I'll look at that later. Yeah, that's definitely my plan though, is to, once I get my act together on this, subs I'll play games with subs, or with members, I should say. Members. Yeah, so for the members that want to play, really the goal was once Dune Awakening comes out, I kind of want to, in my mind, I want to make a guild with the members, the people who are members of the channel, and we'll build a basic. We'll play Dune Awakening together and join the Arrakis Central kind of guild, and then you'll be on the live streams and stuff with me, like on audio and all that good stuff. And you'll be on the videos and all that. And then that would be pretty cool on the lives. I just pray to God that this game doesn't suck. Oh, we got 10 viewers in here, guys. We got 10. Hey, if you're just joining in, we have not started the news yet. Yeah, we had 2 members join last week. Yep. Those guys, and I have to go in there and tweak the icons and stuff. So that's what I'm doing when I'm traveling this next week. I'll be out of where I live. I won't be here, and then and while I'm traveling, I won't be able to really. I probably theoretically could do videos, but I'm probably just gonna focus on shorts and redoing shorts, and then looking into the tiers and stuff like that of my membership stuff. So we got some folks watching. We got people watching on TikTok, Twitch, on YouTube is my main channel. And we got a few people in here right now watching, so yeah, maybe I get another person in. I'll start covering the news, guys. Some juicy stories, some pretty good Dune news this week. Considering last week was kind of dry, there wasn't a whole lot. I was kind of making stuff up. I cracked open the old Warhammer 40k painting and stuff too. a little bit. I was gonna try and finish the models that started like a year ago. I pretty much dropped all my hobby stuff when I started this channel a year ago. And now I'm just trying to do some cleanup. I had to re-clean the house, and that's what's so hardcore Dune, dude. Everything's so Dune, everything. Yeah, so it's all about Dune now at the moment. Yeah, so I guess we'll kick this off. So we got, I mean, some people left, but oh well. So Dune, excuse me, the Funcom Dune Awakening guys, they did a their community number 4, signal number 4, dropped this week, a couple days ago. I did a video already on it, but well, we can take a little more time on this live stream. So this one, they have their opening words. They welcome the street sleepers to the end of the year. 2024 has been a pivotal year for us and the development of the game. So they've been going. I mean, I've been really following this game's development for, I mean, really hardcore for a year. But before that too. Since I don't remember exactly when I first heard they were doing a Dune MMO. I don't remember. I wonder when I can go. I can probably look on my Steam and see when I wish listed it. Can I see added? Yeah. So Dune Awakening. I added it to my wish list on November 2nd, 2023. On Steam, but I knew about the game before that though, so that's a good little metric. All right, yeah, so sometimes in the middle of this year we expanded the scope of the test with the persistent beta test, where we keep the servers running 24/7 for our testers. Yeah, so they've been doing that since August, I think, so July. So I guess the persistent beta is still running. His medical incredible source of important data and feedback that have taken that they have taken to heart and used to continually improve the game, doubling down on the parts of the vision that resonate with our players. So they've a strong 6 months of persistent beta going, right, or something like that. My kid's screaming, playing Gorilla Tag back there on the VR. So if you hear screaming, it's my kid. My mic tries to echo that out, but or filter that out, but it's been a rewarding process. We're incredibly grateful to all of our testers for helping to complete the final leg of the journey to launch. There's not much we can share with you just yet, as these tests are still strictly under NDA, but as a year-end treat for y'all, we will be sharing some fun, interesting stats. So that's a cool, that was the best part of this community. All right, so the roundup. November, December, we're working on all sorts of fun stuff we can't wait to tell you about in Dune time. But on the public side of things, we attended DreamHack Stockholm, Sweden, I guess. Is that Sweden? Magnus, Senior PR and Event Manager. Ignazi, Community Manager, and Tomek, Senior Influencer Manager, roamed the halls of the event, meeting with fans, industry friends, and content creators to network and discuss fun and interesting possibilities for the coming year. That's pretty cool. I'm part of their creator program, so once the game kicks off, I'll be dropping lives and videos of the game. That's pretty much gonna be a shift of my Dune channel. I'm gonna be kicking into Dune Awakening Overdrive for at least the first few months, and then try to still get lore videos and stuff in there. I might even switch the lore to the like alternate Dune Awakening lore, possibly. So maybe like you know, the alternate vision of the universe of Dune Awakening, and having like a alternate reality lore. Like that's basically what the game is. So and maybe I'll try Yeah, Lumberdan. I got the creator program way back when. Because all you had to do was have 5,000 subs. 5,000 subs and a channel that was in good standing. So basically, you couldn't have a channel. It's like controversial rule. You've had a lot of strikes on it. A lot of swearing. I'm guessing a lot of. I'm sure they don't care about it a little bit, but lewd stuff. Probably they don't want you to be all ultra political either way. I'm guessing. So I think they saw my channel and I was harmless, so they just added me because I just do Dune lore. So I rarely even swear on here either. So I told people that story before. I used to cuss like a sailor in the army, but then I had to get used to working around normal people. Can't just cuss out all the time in a real company. So I had to kind of weed that out. So yep. So they had the cosplay. Yuji joined them at that Nordic party event, and yeah. Okay, there's that. Showing off her amazing still suit. Yes, it is. Let's see. Is that like a Sailor Moon girl right there? That is a pretty good. That's a pretty good still suit. Looks like from the movies. That'd be cool to have a still suit like that for Halloween. Shortly after DreamHack and to close the year out, our creative director Joe Bilos joined Pirate Software for a live interview during his stream on December 13th, which I have a video up of that repost. Oh yeah, I'm at 50. Yeah, but I have pretty much stagnated at 55k subs. I haven't really gained anything. I think I've grasped all the Dune viewers I'm gonna get here for a while, probably until the game comes out. That's fine. I'm good though. I'm monetized now, so I don't really care. Now it's just about whatever, waiting for the not waiting game for the game to come out. So I'll just keep doing what I'm doing. It'll get there. Oh, Brazil. Pedro Antonio from Brazil. I don't know how to say hello in Portuguese. Yeah, we got some Brazil love over here going on, huh? Always wanted to go down there. Always wanted to go to Brazil. Make sure if you're not subbed yet, make sure you're subbed to the channel, and I have a Twitch and all that stuff going too. Also, it's almost like Spanish. Hola. My wife likes Brazilian music, but she's not. She's European, but. Oh yeah, so getting back to this. So if you go check out my video, they reposted it already. Funcom posted it. But I think I was like the first guy. I was like the first person to repost this whole video. Like I clipped it out and everything that I saw. So they had the raw video, which was labeled weird because it was like part of his 9-hour game stream. So I had to go through there and then capture it and then repost it. And then they didn't hit me with any copyright or anything, so I'll take it down if they tell me to. I don't know. They didn't say anything yet. I gave the credit to him in the video and everything, so that's an hour and a half something video. And the big thing that came out of this video is cartography in the game. So this one thing that I really took out of it was you're going to be able to go out like a scout, so to speak, in the deep desert. Because the deep desert's going to change weekly. They're going to wipe it, and the dungeons are going to change because of the Coriolis weekly storm is how they're going to wipe the deep desert area. So our base, whatever base we make in Haga Basin, the more PvE orientated, safer area, whatever base we build in our guild there is going to be safe. And then the deep desert zone where you go out to do all the PvP and the real good get the riches, that wipes weekly, right? So but during that week you'll be able to go out there and map out and make maps and sell the maps for money, for Solaris or whatever, and trade them. So that's what Joel said, and they had that said in that interview. That's pretty awesome. I'm really interested in that. Yeah, we're gonna get to that. Oh yeah. Number Dan, the 58% of the player deaths are NPCs shows that the AI is made to be actually threatening. Yeah, pretty cool, huh? Or it could be like, hopefully it's not like Star Citizen where there's dead eyes, kill you through walls and stuff. All right, so here we go. We're getting to the good part here, guys. Let me see if I can zoom that in. There we go. That's better. All right, so here we have the stats. Okay, we're getting into the stats of the beta. Hopefully you guys can read that. I mean, I might be able to change the font. Yeah, I'll mess with it later. Hopefully that's big enough. Yeah, but so the stats into the beta. So we're getting into that. So deadly Arrakis. The NPC inhabitants of Arrakis are responsible for 58% of player deaths. This is what's going on in the closed beta, NDA beta right now. Pretty cool stuff. The second and third most common cause of death are sandworms, 27%, and dehydration, 22%. So that's gonna give us a. So PV. This is like PvP is even on the top 3. So it looks like most of it's NPCs and sandworms. So sandworms are going to be a big threat, I think, in this game. I think it's going to be bigger than what people think. So as soon as you get in somewhere and start making noise, they're going to show up. So it's going to be a very grindy kind of hit and run, harvest and run. You know, hit a dungeon, get the hell out of there kind of thing. Or hit a site, get out. That's what it's going to be in this game. And hopefully with Lumber Dan, we have our awesome Arrakis Central Guild going. We'll have our base. We'll have the Lumber Dan base. Let's see here. Next, who is your mentor? So the mentors are class or whatnot that people are picking in the game, in the character creation. 31% are picking Bene Gesserit. I'm guessing because of their voice stunning. You know, Swordmaster 24, Trooper 23, Mentat I thought would be higher because it has the Hunter Seeker, right? So I thought that would have been. So I'm gonna have to do videos. I think I did one way back when, but I need to do a new one on the classes. Especially after the new year when we're getting closer to the game. So after the new year, I'm gonna start kicking in more focused on the game, I think. Because Dune Prophecy will be over, and I'm gonna shift my focus to Dune Awakening. Because it's gonna be a long way off till Dune Messiah movie comes out. So we have a little bit of Dune Messiah news here, though, in a little while. We'll get to that in a minute. 58, yeah, it's good that 58% of player deaths are from NPCs. Shows the AI. Oh yeah, you said that. I think I read that earlier. So, P.S. We gave an early look at an in-depth version of the character creation process in our Dune Awakening Direct Episode 2 and our Gamescom gameplay reveal. Yeah, so I actually reviewed all that in my. Go back and look at the my previous videos and lives. I've talked all about this stuff and shown it videos on it. The character creator looked pretty standard, didn't look like anything crazy. And then I need to go back and watch some of the footage, because didn't we get like the first 30 minutes of the game or so? I can't remember what they showed us on that. I have the video here downloaded on my computer anyways. They sent us the link to the video to the Creator Club people. So at least I got a little something of an insider, right? But that's all that's all I got so far. Until the game comes out, I won't be able to monetize, get any cool stuff off the game, I guess, from viewing it or showing videos. All right, so all water is precious on Arrakis. Closed beta players extracted approximately 1.5 million liters of blood from fallen enemies and living creatures. Where was the one where it was talking about the Muad'Dib mouse? Is that in here somewhere? Say close to 100 Muad. Oh yeah, here it is right here. Close to 100 Muad'Dibs had their blood extracted. The kangaroo mouse, not Duke Leto's son. That's hilarious. How could you do that? Why? People are killing Muad'Dibs. Hilarious. If you found these stats interesting and want to contribute to them, remember that you can still sign up for the chance of... Okay, yeah, well, we've all signed up for that. And, yeah. It's all random crapshoot, I think, if you get selected for that. And then once you get selected, you can't say it anyway, so... Let's be careful. Just remember, folks, if you're watching this, because I think some people got in trouble recently, like a week ago. That's all I'm going to say. Something happened, and I happened to be on the Discord when it was going down. So... I got lucky. I never get to see anything like that happen in real time. So just remember, you're signing legal NDAs for these things. So if you get in there, you cannot talk about it. You can't even say that you're in it. You definitely can't show a video of it. Just be careful out there, folks. Don't get yourself in trouble. Use some common sense. All of you, I'm sure, are watching our smart folks who know better than to do shady things, I guess. For today's highlight, we wanted to give the spotlight to our cosplay. If you've traveled to any of the events, which I had a person at the Tokyo Game Show. But it was like so crowded, so full of Japanese folks that all the booths were mainly Japanese, I believe, and there was not a whole lot of English. So it was kind of a bust. Not so bad. I got some photos and videos. I haven't even posted that stuff yet, have I? I don't think I've posted a lot of the photos that I have. I'm planning on doing it eventually. It's not much, but hey, we got the goodie bag. I don't have it here with me where I'm at, but we got one. It's in Japan right now still. The goodie bag. See here. So cosplay. For this edition, we will be exchanging words with Alejandra, Anyara, who has been with us since PAX East, all the way through Comic Con Nordic, Gamescom. Dude, she's like getting paid by Funcom to be the... What a job, dude. The face of Dune cosplay. Man. You're a seasoned veteran in the cosplay community. Anra, I wonder what other stuff she does. Can you tell your readers a bit about your career as a cosplay? Oh, I swear. I skipped through this on my video, guys. So it's been a wonderful long journey. I've been doing cosplay for more than 10 years now. It started as a hobby. I'm a huge fan of Mass Effect, and I wanted to make Commander Shepard's armor, but I decided to make it for Carnival. So I guess Carnival Cruise, which is a big thing where I live. I don't know Carnival. Oh, it must be some sort of like fest kind of thingy. Carnival, where's that at? Is that in Spain? She's Spanish? I mean, she looks very. She looks Spanish to me. She has those Spanish eyes, that's for sure. Let's see here. And she worked in Destiny 2, World of Warcraft, Elder Scrolls, Diablo 4, Blasphemous, Blood Hunt, Dune Awakening. I'm so grateful for these opportunities because I really love making costumes. That's fun. She's worked on as a judge in events in Spain, Europe. Many conventions have asked me to do panels, costume making, and to judge their competitions. So she's in that industry. Let's see here. Speaking of Dune Awakening, tell us a bit about your experience designing the still suit cosplay. So it was a big fun challenge. Had about a month to create this design, and at first it was a little intimidating because the suit is really intricate and tight to the body. I considered several different construction options and finally decided to build it like a suit of armor, making different pieces that would attach to the inner clothing and allow me to move properly at conventions. Okay, I see. But also make it look like a whole suit. Building it was like a giant puzzle. Okay, cool. So it must be a pain in the butt to get into these outfits. Well, here you can see her outfit. Man, how much work that must take. Making some outfit like that. Now that you mentioned wearing it, how was the actual experience donning the suit? I was super lucky and everything worked out great. I almost cried the first time I tried to put everything together. I used my EVA foam for most of the pieces, so it's very light. But wearing a cosplay is never comfortable, so I had to make some small adjustments in the design to be able to sit down, walk properly, or even go to the toilet. Unfortunately, I don't have the skills yet to make a proper still suit that's recycles liquids. Oh, a real one. That's funny. That's funny. How was reception at event goers? I'm super happy because everyone loved this costume online. Also at conventions, people usually approach me to ask me about how I made the costume. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I'm not really a big cosplay person, like fan of it per se, but these Dune ones are cool. I kind of actually like this one a little more back here because it's more like a military type, mercenary looking one. Dude, I love, dude, the Harkonnen and Sardaukar out uniforms in the movies are freaking awesome. Especially Doom Part 2, dude. When the Harkonnen stalkers, they're in the beginning. They got those suits with little breathers on them, the helmets. That's incredible. All right. We don't want to hog all your time, so as a final note, do you have any advice or recommendations for aspiring cosplayers? Follow your passion. We all start small, and the more cosplay you do, the more you learn. That's pretty much with everything. That's like with YouTube as well. I mean, YouTube, I've learned so much in this last year on YouTube stuff. I mean, how all this works and thumbnails, and I'm still trying to figure that out. All the lives and stream keys and thumbnails, I think, are one of the trickier ones. And then I still gotta clean up my Twitch page because my Twitch page is bare bones. I don't have any ad spaces on it or nothing. I don't know how to do any of that, so I gotta figure all that out. And I don't make enough money off any of this to put money that much and pay somebody. A lot of people just pay a company to set their channel up for them. I don't even know how much that costs. I ain't trying to do all that until I start making money. Very interesting. Yeah, I guess you can follow her on Blue Sky, X, and Instagram. Okay, cool. We'll check that out. All right, so community creations. Here we go. We're getting into the good stuff of this. And Lumber Dan, you said you have a picture in here, don't you? We have an amazing collection of fan arts in this issue that includes all kinds of mediums. Please pursue our museum artworks at your leisure. But we have more exciting news. Those featured here will also get access to Dune Awakening closed beta. Never mind. I didn't say that. We won't mention that again then. But anyways, so cool. Here we go to some cool art. Someone made a pain box. Oh, well, they're putting their names out here. The Shy Malud on Discord. So these guys, so we know that these people are getting in, I guess. They put that out, so I think that they're starting to get closer to open beta. So I think maybe we'll get it in January then. If they're already talking to people's names that are getting into the beta. Very, very, very curious there. Anyways. Handmade paint box. Pretty cool. Work in progress. We got a Mizwixon character. Cool Dune looking character. We got ourselves a cool, very, very dapper Atreides man by Times Minister's girlfriend. And then a fate. Oh, hey, it's not loading up. Oh, there we go. That's cool. I said that before. The cat, the Fade Cat by Rot Rot. This was the one I like. I like this stuff right here. So a character concept on Harkonnen Trader based off of our senior concept art, Philippe Augusta, created by Ryan Ross. Go to on Discord. That's cool. You can see. I like this stuff. This is like for the game. This looks more like a game thing. Well, this Wormjack and this ones aren't loading. What the heck? There we are. General Anubis made this. This looks very crayonish. Here we go with an eye. Arrakis Pilgrim. Pretty cool. That was that. So now we're getting toward the end of this, guys. The questions. Let me get a sip of my decaf coffee because I switched to decaf. Everyone's still sticking with me? So Strider 11, if a player is killed in a deep desert by other players, what types of setbacks are expected? A deep desert is meant to be the end game area of the game with high risk and high reward, but we also don't want to make the experience too brutal to play. We want you to be able to recover, learn from your mistakes, and come back stronger and wiser. By default, you only lose whatever resources you may have in your inventory bag, not your equipped gear. If you play wisely, you'll be able to protect the resources you're carrying and limit your losses. If you do not, other players will have a big payday. So it looks like your armor doesn't get lost if you die, but your random items do. Of course, if the worm gets you, it's all gone, right? What kind of things will you be able to influence in Landsred? This is the one I was like, they talked a little bit about this on the live stream. Landsride is one of the our game mechanics where guilds will compete for the votes of major houses in Landsride by doing work for them in faction versus faction gameplay. In order to vote in action worldwide decrees rules for the next period, we are actively working on this feature and fine-tuning it in our closed beta test. With the help and feedback of our testers, we are narrowing down the benefits and requirements to see which of the most interesting and fun. We can't reveal much yet, but we think as an example what it could raise tax prices, allow temporary different rule sets in the deep desert, or what if you could lower construction requirements for a week. How would you plan your next move with these tricks at your disposal? Yeah, so it's just going to add special things, like kind of like in the Landsred Council in Dune Spice Wars. Yeah, so yeah. Anyways, cutting back to this, I was looking at something real quick over here. If I was looking at something interesting. Will there be a party system in place? That's an easy question. Yes, there will be. Of course, there's gonna be a party, and that's like a multiplayer game. Of course, there's gonna be a party system, guild system, right? And Lumberdan right there is gonna be in my guild, I guess. And this question is there an in-game voice chat, in-game proximity voice chat, or is there a preference? I'm sure most people are going to be using Discord, but there's got to be he says right here, there'll be a proximity voice chat at launch as well as text chat. So I guess it's just going to be no matter who's around can hear you. That's why people are going to be using Discord probably. And with that, we're one step closer to saying goodbye to 2024 and hello 2025. We're incredibly excited about the upcoming months. We're working hard to have the game ready for you all on PC early next year. And we're preparing to make 2025 an unforgettable year for all the sleepers who are eager to get their boots in the sand at Arrakis. Man, I can't wait. I can't wait to play the game. That's all I'm thinking about this whole year. I've been having a hard time getting into other games for like this entire year because I don't want to like invest so much time in a game I know I'm instantly going to drop once this game comes out. That's my thing. So I was playing like action games and stuff. I haven't really been putting any time. I just couldn't focus like on EVE Online. I'm an EVE Online player, and I just haven't been able to focus on it because I just can't. I don't want to invest all my time into that game until this game, because this game's going to come out. I've been playing Stalker, but I kind of got tired. I got about how many hours into that game? Let me look real quick. I had 98 hours in Stalker 2, and I kind of got a little tired of it. Waiting for better mods and things, and some. They just had a big patch, but didn't really seem to change the game. Helldivers 2 has a big patch. I'm probably gonna play Destiny or something because I have a friend that wants to play Destiny, but I do like Number Dan said I need to. Oh, I haven't received anything yet for the closed beta. Just had to check my emails when you read that. Yeah, hey Lumber Dan, man, I just spilled the beans on you. I wouldn't even say a word to me or nobody. Okay, don't. If you get anything, if you get a notification, just that's it. Don't say nothing. So that's pretty cool. Now, I actually wouldn't be surprised if you don't get anything till after Christmas. I think people might not be in the office. Just be patient with that, I guess. I have no idea. But yeah, that was about it for that, guys. We're gonna cut to the next Dune story. So that's about it for our Dune Awakening stuff today. Man. Let me take a look over here in my... I got my phone here. Real quick. No, nothing crazy. I'm trying to see what we're going to talk about next. I guess we'll talk about the Dune Messiah stuff. What do I have up on the... Yeah, we'll talk about that next, guys. So, man, what do you guys think about that that community edit? It was okay. I think it might have been better than the last one, actually. Just because it had some beta stats. Hard to say, though. Boom. Oh yeah, we'll talk about that next. So the next tidbit of news we are going to talk about is, I can't see it. Right there. So Dune Messiah, Dune Part 3. Linus Sandgren replaces Greg Fraser as DP on Dune Messiah. So for people that don't know, Greg Fraser was this, director of photography for Dune Part 1 and 2. And it's amazing, right? Well, he has to do Batman too. So they're switching out with this guy. And he's done some stuff, but then I was reading some of the stuff he's done, and I was like, I mean, he's won Oscars, but the stuff I'm seeing he's done, it doesn't scream Dune to me. Greg Fraser is just so good. So this news story has kind of slightly worried me for the movie. I'll put it that way. So, I am a little worried, but hopefully Denis Villeneuve knows what he's doing, so hopefully the movie's gonna be good. I mean, it's probably gonna be noticeable that it's not the same style, honestly. See what do you guys think about that? Do you think that's I'm way into the whole behind the scenes and all that stuff on the Blu-ray, and I watch all that stuff on Dune Part 2 and the mini little films and all that, and I was like, wow, this stuff's pretty crazy, but Greg Fraser was running a lot of it, and now we're not going to have him on the new one, so now I'm kind of somewhat concerned. Yeah, so it says right here, yesterday, a reader that always entertaining George had initially mentioned the lingering Dune rumor. That's weird. Is there typos in this? Anyways, Dune rumor in the comments, and Jeff Snyder has now heard the same thing. Another source tells me Lindgren's hasn't signed up yet, but it's in talks, so he hasn't joined yet. I've reached to Legendary for comment on the story, but still haven't heard back from them. This will be a big loss for Villeneuve. Fraser is one of the best and most talented DPs in the game. It's very possible that Fraser's absence in Messiah might have to do with his commitment to Matt Reeves' Batman 2. That's what I was saying to you guys earlier. Next summer. I'm hearing Messiah will start production in August. So August 2025. Although no cast has been confirmed yet, and if Villeneuve follows the storyline in Frank Herbert's books, Timothée Chalamet, Zendaya, Anna Taylor-Joy, Javier Bardem, Rebecca Ferguson, Josh Brolin, and for those that don't know, it Duncan Idaho is going to come back too. Kind of a spoiler though. Hey, but they did Thufir wrong. They did him dirty on the last movie, so they might not bring Duncan Idaho back. Who knows? Lumberdan, well, Messiah would have a different feel than the first two movies. Would be more personal and about family than the big landscapes of the first movies. Yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do with the Messiah. If they're gonna make it just like the book, I doubt it. I bet you they're gonna have elements of like the jihad in there. I bet you they're gonna have like kind of like a watered down version of like Paul of Dune. You read that book, Paul of Dune? They might have some jihad. They might have like some of the planet attacking. Like maybe they'll have Stilgar assaulting Kaitain, like in Paul of Dune, or the other planet with the I wonder if they'll do that. I wonder if they'll put any of the Paul of Dune stuff there. I don't know what they're gonna do, but I guess we'll find out. Because I've heard rumors that this is gonna be a kind of a war movie. So maybe my theory is my theory on the movie. I think the first half of the movie is gonna be kind of like a war movie, of them doing the jihad, and the second half is gonna be Messiah, the book. Right? That's what I'm thinking. So that would be pretty cool, actually. Yeah. So Greg Fraser out. looks like this guy's in. So, yeah, we'll see what happens, guys. We'll see what happens. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys think about that. All right, so next story, jumping on. We are at Dune Prophecy gets second season. We get second season. I was worried about this because the show has such. I hide this crap. The show had such mixed reviews. I like it, but I get it. It has some issues. They could have see the things I wanted to see in this show, like the Frank Herbert fans don't want to see that stuff. I wanted to see more Cymex, and I wanted to see more. We got a little bit of it in the first episode. I want to see more thinking machine stuff. I want to see like combat drones and stuff like that. But I wanted to see an actual mob of Butlerians swarming a Cymek and taking it down, like while getting like they're like ants getting just swarming them. So this prequel to the series, as it's season finale. Its finale is tomorrow night, guys. So season, yes. So be prepared for that. But Dune Prophecy follows the formation of the Bene Gesserit. I'm not going to recap all what we know about the show because we already know. On the show, co-produced by Legendary Television, Travis Fimmel plays Desmond Hart, which we got his reveal. Spoiler. Desmond Hart is the son of Tula and Ori Atreides, who she killed on Caladan, which that's all in the show. If you guys, so I just ruined it if you haven't watched the show yet. That's not a big part of the show. It is, but it's just the backstory. How the Sisterhood survives is very much part of season 2, said Shap. Oh, it's gonna be more sisterhood stuff. I thought they were gonna switch gears and go to like Arrakis or something. They're messing up with that, dude, because I think they'd have a lot more normies watching the show if they did it on Dune. That's my theory. From the looks of it, we're not going to see anything on Dune this whole season. They're just going to talk about Arrakis. So let's see here. So if they do this, if I'll tell you what, if the season 2 is almost exact same settings as season 1, people are gonna get turned off by that. People are gonna want to start seeing some other stuff. They're gonna want to see Arrakis again. That's what people want to see. They want to see the sandworms. They want to see Dune. So that's the thing. And there's a lot of Dune in the books. So Sisterhood of Dune, there's a lot of parts on that book that are on Dune. So yeah, and they didn't show it in the show. So Deanne Abnou-John co-developed Dune Prophecy and is an executive producer, and Forrester executive producer and directed multiple episodes, including the first, which was the worst episode. Jordan Goldberg, Mark Toby, and John Cameron, Matthews King, Scott Z. Burns, and John Spates, executive producer with Brian Herbert, along with Byron Merritt and Kim Herbert as executive producers for the Frank Herbert estate. Okay, so that's just labeling who was involved. So that's just kind of a quick article. But yes, Dune Prophecy is getting a second season order from HBO. Pretty cool stuff, guys. Pretty cool. All right, so one last thing I wanted to cover before I got to get off and go start getting stuff ready. I got to start packing my bags and things for our family and doing things, getting stuff going here around the house. I will be on tomorrow, though. So Dune Prophecy, supposedly it's an hour and a half episode, so this live stream won't start till like 9:30, 10, I guess, Central Time. But I will be going live for the final episode. And then I probably won't have time to do my full season review, but I'll try. All right, so good news though. So overall, right before we kick off on one last thing, I think overall I have liked Dune Prophecy. Episodes 4 and 5 are definitely a lot better. My biggest gripes so far: we have not seen a Spacing Guild. We have not seen a Mentat. They've only been mentioned. Spacing Guild's only been mentioned. We haven't really seen anything directly on Dune. I think they messed up really bad in the flashback of how they showed Griffin Harkonnen getting, killed in that flashback, where he just goes away and it cuts to him on a cart. That bothered me because he's supposed to be sent back in a coffin with a note from Vorian Atreides from Dune. So they should have had that in there as a delivery when they're all there, maybe inside, and said there's a delivery, and they'd be like, well, delivery from where? And they could have been like courier or whoever, like direct delivery from Dune, from Arrakis, and it could have sand and stuff on it, and then they can open it. They see Griffin dead in there with a sand and the note from Vorian, because Vorian leaves a note in the book, which they take that basically in the note. He's like praising Griffin, but they take that as them laughing at them, and disrespecting them, so they hate them even more in the book. But so that they messed that whole scene up, because it just cuts straight to him just like on a cart, like no, he came back packaged in a box from Arrakis by Vorian Atreides. He paid a bunch of money to have his body shipped, because usually people don't do that. Your body's just gone, but he actually paid because he's rich. Because Vorian Atreides has been around so long, he has millions of Solari and his money all around different planets. So money's nothing to him. He's kind of like a secret Elon Musk kind of guy, because he's been around so long. But yeah, so that kind of bugged me. I would have liked to have seen a flashback of, I don't know how much it would cost, but a whole show based on the Butlerian Jihad, of that first little 30-second clip where we see them fighting thinking machines and maybe possibly a Psymech. We could have got a whole season of that first, but oh well, that would have been cool. I think it's budgeting though, because that would be all CGI. That would be, the Butlerian Jihad books would be just fleet battles, stuff on Arrakis, sandworms, like thinking machines running around. This craziness going in those first 3 books. Craziness. So I don't know how they would make that. I really don't know how they would make that. Yeah, so, but yeah, at least we're getting season 2, so I guess we'll see. I guess it made enough. Was that you? Somebody was telling me it made the same amount of views as the Penguin. Was that you, Lumberdan, telling me that? Might have been somebody else. And then finally, let's see if I can I won't play any of it, because I'll probably get... Oh, hey, what's up, Star Wars? Marvel Purist is here. Man, I was getting close to ending the stream, and he showed up. I've been watching your streams. I'm always creeping in yours. Every time I see you on, I'm... The show? Is the show woke? You talking about Dune Prophecy? Um, I didn't think it was. I don't think. Well, it just depends because if you haven't read the books, you might think it's woke, but it's not woke like. I would say it's not woke because it follows the characters of Tula and Balia Harkonnen, and basically how she's manipulating all these girls at the school of the Bene Gesserit. And so they're like basically like, hey, we're supposed to be pure and all this stuff and clear minds and whatnot. And Valia Harkonnen she's using the sisterhood, she's running it, but she's using it for her own personal reasons, for her own power. So basically, Penguin's more woke than this show because Penguin shows like quotes, air quotes, women, ladies of the night that are not ladies. That just look like ladies. So in the Penguin, there's none of that in this show. So there's no Dune Prophecy didn't have any what's so to speak. I don't want to get in trouble around here, but there's no message in here really. The message, like Critical Drinker always says, because it doesn't make the women in here they don't make them look like good guys. They're bad guys. The only good guy in this show is kind of the Emperor. But there really is no good guy in this show because it's Dune. There really is no good guy in Dune. That's the whole point of Dune. People say that all the time. There's no good guy because there really isn't. They're all jerks. If there is a good guy in these, I'll just say this: there's no girl on girl action in the show. They haven't showed any of that. But which was weird because what's his face said there was when Chris Gore. He said there was girl on girl stuff in here, and there was none of that. But there is some good. There's hot chick and guy stuff in the show. That's early on. It's only a couple scenes like that. The problem with this show is not a problem, but there's just so much stuff going on. They don't have time to put any woke messaging in here. There's just so much plot going that if they did that, it'll just bog the whole thing down. Now, if you want to think, if you think maybe it could be woke for somebody who's just kind of tired of witches and women just kind of being the main focus of stuff, that could be seen as something. But they're not really pushing any modern day stuff in here that I've noticed. Am I right about that? I haven't noticed any. I'm pretty good. I picked that stuff up pretty quickly too. Like Dune Part 2 had more girl boss stuff in it with Chani than this show has. The Dune Part 1 and Part 2 are more woke than the show. People don't want to believe me. Dune Part 1, they race and gender swap Dr. Kynes and didn't even make them the parent of Chani, the dad. It's supposed to be the dad. Dr. Kynes is supposed to be Chani's dad in the movies. And then in Dune Part 2, they totally made Chani this angry feminist girl boss, which she's not at all in the book. Yeah, so Chani got totally butchered in the movie, her character. But this show, Dune Prophecy, actually kind of follows closer to those Brian Herbert books. Valia being the bad guy, kind of pushing her sister to do stuff. She's basically using the sisterhood to her own personal reasons for revenge on Atreides family. And then she's kind of... Yeah, I see... Oh, Thomas Anomalous. Yeah, Dr. Kynes will see some old crusty white dude. So they totally botched that. And you know, I still like those movies. I still love them. They didn't totally ruin the movies for me. Because in the book, Chani's a Sayadina. When Lady Jessica takes the water of life, she becomes a Sayadina. She becomes part of the Bene Gesserit, kind of like as an acolyte sister, what so to speak, in the Siege. And so she's a believer in all of it. In the movie, they made her look like she's like, oh, they're from the South. Oh, I don't believe in this mumbo jumbo. There's no such thing. There's none of that in the book. She believes it. So they've really kind of actually, if you really think about it, on technical aspects. But this is my opinion, guys. So Dune, the movies are more woke than this TV show. Maybe that's why the critics don't like it as much. I don't know. Yeah, this show is pretty cut and dry, like what's going on, as far as the story of it. If I remember correctly, the spice that scene when he spits the when she spits the changed poison back in the bag, and Paul starts drinking it and gets high as hell, and he like walks back in the cave room with Chani, and he's like, "Is this for real? Am I even here? Am I really doing her right now, or is this fake, or is this a vision?" Remember, he couldn't really tell the difference. Remember, he was hallucinating so bad he couldn't tell what was real or not. I think the show, I actually think that it'd be harder to make the Butlerian Jihad books. That's probably why they didn't make those, because those are freaking crazy books, dude. It's like almost like Battlestar Galactica going on in those books, like the War of the Machines and space battles, and you got freaking Cymex and Erasmus, freaking Dr. Mengele of AI, torturing and making. Dude, I started rereading Butlerian Jihad again this weekend, and in the beginning, you know, Erasmus is making paintings on canvas of like blood and human body organs, and he thinks he's just some expert artist. Nobody's ever done this before, and he's painting with human body parts. It's freaking brutal, dude. He's an AI Dr. Mengele, so to speak. He's just he's like, oh, I'm gonna cut his ear off like Van Gogh and rub it all over the canvas. It's crazy, dude. He's nuts. He does all these experiments and stuff. So that robot's the guy who made the virus they mentioned in the show. And he developed the virus Scourge, the Omnius Scourge, I think it's called. But I could see people not liking the pacing of this show. It is kind of all over the place. Since I read all the books, I kind of follow it better, I'm guessing. But in the flashbacks, I mean, when they do the flashback of Tula assassinating the Atreides, that's almost exactly from the book. Except it's a little different. They did it on their wedding night. She kills him on the wedding night. And Tula's supposed to be a blonde bombshell, like a supermodel, not kind of brunette. In the book, she's basically looks like Sydney Sweeney or something. And she can just seduce any man. Because Valia teaches her how to seduce men. And then she sends her off on these assassination missions to kill as many Atreides as they can. And then, but they kind of only just barely touched on that. In the time of the events happen a lot differently. Like there's some events differences, like when Valia actually joins the Sisterhood. It happens actually way earlier on a different planet. And then Dorothea is not teaching her. They're like students together on Rossack. So they mention Rossack with the Rossack poison, but then they never show the planet, which is true. They left it by the time this show starts. But the flashback when she kills Dorothea and all that, that does happen on Wallach 9. But they didn't take the poison. They were already Reverend Mothers at that point. Does that make sense? They condensed a lot of stuff. You know that flashback where she doesn't take the poison and Dorothea takes the poison? That happens on Rossack. And that doesn't happen in front of everybody. It's just those two. Like, they steal the poison. Yeah, it happens all differently. But they just condensed it for the show. And did you get... I don't think I've seen any ultra wokey stuff on this show. Anybody else notice it? I haven't. Other than the fact that it's, you know, strong, kind of, I guess. Well, not even that strong of women. Tula's real unsure what the hell she's doing. And then, it's not like... So, another thing, too, which they're not showing, is that Valya is a freaking, like, basically an MMA fighter in the book, so to speak. She's like a ninja. So, she's the best fighter out of all the sisters. And they haven't even shown any of that in this show. I'm guessing we've seen some clips of it in the trailers. But she can cut through people like butter, dude. She's the best fighter that the sisterhood has. You know, so she's kind of hiding it, like I'm just an innocent lady. I'm not a threat. She even says that in some of the shows. She can tear people up. So hopefully we see that in this last episode. She tears people up. Because that would be from the book. That's from the books. Oh, let's see here. Thomas Anomalous, given how close to the Denis Villeneuve films they are trying to stick, I wonder how the Harkonnens end up adapting and becoming hairless, almost plastic-like race. Yeah, I don't know, because Gidi Prime's mentioned in... there's actually a part where he's... Xavier Harkonnen, I think it is visiting Gidi Prime, because Gidi Prime's around already at this point in the Batlarian Jihad, the planet. Yeah, all that stuff about losing their hair and all that, that's just all the movies. None of that's in the book. He's fat in the book, but like Fade has a full head of red hair in the books and stuff. They'll have hair. They're not really like... They only did that in the movies to really show you like these are evil people. These are the kind of the bad guys. But yeah, so that book, that's with the dark sun and all that, that's cool as hell, but that's not book accurate at all. Where they're all bald and all that, that's all made up. I'm a Dune normie. Only watch the movies, including 84. So how many books are? Oh God, comics. There's comics, but the comics are older. The comics are, I think, from books, like 17 books. I actually got a graded Dune, the movie, the 84 movie comic here, graded. And there's like 17 books. So yeah, so and there's short stories too. Oh, Kato, yeah, you arrived late. I already covered all the news stories. We'll go over it again real quick. We're just talking about how many Dune books and all that stuff. So, right quick before I get into this, we'll do this. I'll go over this list right now. I think this will be pretty beneficial for the Dune fans out there. Yeah, this would be kind of fun. Okay, so I just got done talking about Dune Prophecy. Star Wars Marvel purist was asking about if the show is woke or not, and I can't. I don't think Dune Prophecy has been all that woke. In fact, I think it has been barely any woke. The only thing that you could consider maybe woke is that, yeah, you got this sisterhood of, and you got all these women only for women and all this stuff, and they're kind of figuring out stuff. But that's the closest thing I can think of, because they're getting their butts tore up by frickin' Desmond. So I mean, and the fact that they show you pretty early on that Valia is evil, and she is evil. She's the bad guy in this story. People don't really figure it out. She's the one that's using the sisterhood for her own gain. As she doesn't want it. So it doesn't do a very good job of showing that, I think, in the show. But in the books, she's basically all about herself. She doesn't really care about the sisterhood. She's just using it as a means to an end to get rid of Atreides. So it showed a little bit of that, but it's almost her entire motive. And it shows that in the show. So I'll go back and real quick and we'll go over that on the end. But now I wasn't gonna do this on the show, but we'll do it right here. So they have a cool list here: Dune novel chronology. Excuse me, I'm getting a dry mouth here. I didn't bring my water up here. So there's like 6. So Brian Herbert was the original. Not Brian. I mean Frank Herbert. Brian Herbert's the son. Frank Herbert is the original. See if I can pull up the original so you guys can see. Then we'll talk about the chronology. Well, it's on Amazon already. Regardless of that. So he did 6. So Frank Herbert. I'm seeing if I can find a cool tracker here. There's like a cool tracker of the differences. Maybe this one right here. Let's see here. Bear with me. Oh, crap. No. There we go. Oh, there we go. So, Frank Herbert did Dune, Dune Messiah, Children of Dune, God Emperor of Dune, Heretics of Dune, and then Chapter House Dune. Okay. Then his son, Brian, did all these extended universe books. EU, so to speak. Prequels and then filler books and all that stuff. So everything we're seeing in this show, Dune Prophecy, is Brian Herbert writings, which is he took his dad's notes. They found all these journals and notes and all these things from him, and they created novels out of this in a whole extended universe. Okay. So if you look over here on the screen, these being basically short stories, some of these right here, like Tales of Dune has a bunch of short stories in it, which is a book. And like, so basically the very first thing you read is Hunting Harkonnen. I read that actually. It's pretty cool. It's a cool short story. These Cymex have these ships. It's crazy, dude. It's like, have you ever seen RoboCop 2? When they put Kane's brain in a canister and then he's in that freaking mech. That's basically a Cymex. So there's a bunch of humans that basically collaborate with the AI thinking machines, and they surgically remove their brains and put them in like warrior mechs and shit, and they can control mechs. Their canister can get removed and get put into a freaking like ship that they can control with their mind. It's actually pretty badass. But they're bad guys working for the AI. But they can get in these giant walkers, dude. They land on planets and stuff, and they're just like flamethrowing all the humans. Like, I want to destroy these. They're people like flies. And they're all evil. They want to just control humanity. They're called Cymex. They took their brains out of their bodies, put them in these canisters like in RoboCop 2, and then they control these death bots. And see, they're not affected by since they are human brain, they're not affected by the Holtzman EMP shields that the free worlds have. This is all during this all happens during the Butlerian Jihad, which is about 100 and it tells you in the beginning, it's like 100 and so 50 years or 36 years before the show. So you see like a quick little snippet in the first 30 seconds of Dune Prophecy episode 1. It shows like a quick humans fighting the Cymex and the AI, quick little battle scene, but it's like a quick little scene, dude. It's gone, and it shows the Butlerian Jihad, but not very much of it. And it's pretty cool because it shows these people just charging these robots, and that's how it is in the books. They have like these vibro swords that they have to use, and they use shields. So they have the shield tech already, the humans, but they can't really do a whole lot to these robots other than get close to them and just swarm them like ants. So the Butlerians, these jihadi humans, are just basically like anti-machine people. They're just going through and freaking swarming them, just getting taken out in like droves though, until eventually they can overrun a Cymek or you know, that's where they become these expert sword masters. They have to fine-tune these sword master skills, and they have to use their shields and swords to get close enough to take out these AI death bots stuff. So it's pretty badass because they can't really use like lasers and guns and stuff. They have like battle fleets that have weapons, but oh yeah, in the beginning they used to have to lower shields to fire weapons. And then the lady who figures out do alternating shields, the Holtzman shields on because the starships have them too, the shields. And she figures out do a wave modulation to modulate the shields. So basically it's like a biplane. Remember in the World War I where they can shoot through the propeller? They figured out the gears. It's something like that where they figure out they can shoot through shields. And then there's a whole battle scene, a fleet battle scene in these books where the AI's like, we outnumber you. We can take you out. Ha ha ha. And then they didn't realize they have shield modulation now. So they're just waiting for them to lower their shields. But the humans show up with the modulation system now, and so they can be pew 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 pew, fuck you, pew, pew, pew. And they start. There's like all these fleet battles and stuff in the books. Well, the show isn't covering any of the stuff I'm talking about. That's in the books. You got to go read the Butlerian Jihad books. We're about to get into it. I'm about to talk about the book lineup here. I went on a tangent. A lot, as I said, there's a whole thing. So another thing, Star Wars. There's a whole sect of Dune fans that hate Brian Herbert and his books. So it's like almost like a fandom thing, like with Star Wars too, where like they like certain authors and not others. So, but then they only like the Frank Herbert stuff, and they consider all the rest of it fake and not Dune, right? So then I'm not like that. I like all of it. I like the Frank Herbert stuff and I like the Brian Herbert stuff because I came from like a war gaming background, 40K and freaking Battlestar Galactica, and I love like strategy games and all that, BattleTech, you know, mechs and all that. Dude, remember the movie Robot Jocks in the 90s? I love that movie. Anyways, so I kind of like that big fleet battle stuff too, which I think is the reason why I kind of like the Brian Herbert books. This is a personal taste thing, really. Side note, the hand symbol in the intro to Dune Prophecy is a hermetic symbol Wait, as above, so below. Oh, really? Used by high priest to channel divine energy into the physical realm. Is that like that horror movie? There's so much. Yeah, we'll get into this right now though. So, because I can't keep streaming. They got 16 people watching. Holy crap! Man, I gotta get up to your number, Star Wars Marvel purist. You get like 40, 50 people in your channel. I get out. This is 16 is usually where I tap out at. All right, so the first book, Brian Herbert book, the one I was kind of just talking about actually, Butlerian Jihad. This takes place before the show and then before 10,000 years before Dune. Okay, in this book, Butlerian Jihad, we learn about Vorian Atreides, the first Atreides. We learn about Salim Wormrider, the first Fremen, precursor to the Fremen, to learn the first guy to ride a worm, not tame it, but ride sandworms. We learned about Seleucus Secundus. Xavier Harkonnen becomes like the lead savior of Seleucus. He stops a assault in the beginning of the book. We learned about basically the early Bene Gesserit, the early, before they're even the sisterhoods, or like just the sisters of Rossack. And the only defense against the Cymex to blow their brains up in their canisters is to learn psychic ability to like basically psychic blast their brains. And then also you have Serena Butler. Serena Butler is one of the other noble families. Oh, so in this time, the Harkonnens are like the biggest noble family, one of the biggest noble families out there at this point in this book. So that basically, she gets captured. Serena Butler gets captured by Erasmus on Earth. So the whole book is they start the rebellion, all this stuff. She has a baby. She gets knocked up by Xavier Harkonnen. She delivers the baby. Erasmus, the evil sicko AI robot who's been kind of, torturing her, gets sick of the kid. This is all I'm very highly summarizing this. Little Mannion, I think his name is. She has the kid, and he's running around in captivity of the AI. And Erasmus gets jealous because he thinks Serena Butler is his educated human toy. And he basically throws the kid off the balcony on Earth in the AI, fortress. And she freaks out, of course, because it's her kid. And she pushes this mech security bot off the side of the thing. And all the human slaves below the courtyard, they're all down there. They see her pushing the mech. And basically it falls and crushes those, and just gets destroyed. And then it starts the rebellion on Earth. Human rebellion. Because they think, she's fighting back. They're all pretty shitty, though. They're very scared. They're tortured. I mean, it's brutal, dude. It's worse than Planet of the Apes kind of thing. How humans are treated. They're literally like just even worse than cattle. They're just tortured. Like, he'll just walk up to the fence of humans, the Erasmus, and be like, whatever. It's like Nazi Germany stuff. That's how they look. That's how they look at the humans, like. Straight, just not even less than insects, less, because you see an insect, you see a cute little caterpillar, you're gonna be like, oh, cute little caterpillar, I might help you, I'm not gonna smash you, of course it's like a nasty spider or something, but they don't even give them they don't even look at them as a life form. AI, this is all computer logic. They just see humans as complete, just useless flesh, so it's just kind of in this. So that's what happens in that book. It kicks off, the jihad kicks off. Vorian Atreides, the first Atreides, is a genetic son. He's working for the AI. So the first Atreides was actually a bad guy working for the Cymex. His dad is the lead Cymex brain canister guy. He was just a genetic. He had some eggs and stuff frozen and had a test tube baby as an heir. He escapes with her. He realizes that the AI are not good because he was raised his whole life to think they were good. They weren't good, and then he escapes with Serena Butler after her kid from Earth, and then he comes back later with a fleet. He convinces the council on Seleucus Secundus that we need to act now, and he convinces them after a little while of not trusting him to lead a fleet to nuke Earth. Earth gets freaking annihilated as a show, forced to the AI, because EMP wipes them out. That's like their biggest weakness. More like Freemason or Roscurian. Is that from the books? I can't remember off the top of my head. Like EU versus Disney. Oh yeah. There's a lot of that. This is, but not that bad. Like that's bad. Disney Star Wars is a disaster. Like a complete, utter disaster. This is in that kind of level of hate. It's basically more of a artistic style, writing style hatred, more so than a complete dislike, utter gutting of a, you know. Yeah. So it's not that level of people don't like it. Because if that was the case, I wouldn't like it either, the Brian Herbert stuff. But yeah, dude, the Disney Star Wars is a disaster beyond comprehension, I think, in modern entertainment. I don't think we've seen anything like it ever. I don't think we've seen anything gutted to this level, like Disney has done to Star Wars. Because Marvel, I think, has a chance. I think Marvel would have it, even though it's Disney. I still like a lot of think would have a chance to kind of come back. And I think people would probably, like, if Marvel started making good Marvel again tomorrow, people would be like, all right, it's good again. Star Wars will take you decades to fix at this point. You'd have to, like, it's just totally decimated. You talk about it on your show all the time. I mean, you know more about it than I do, dude. I'm not as big. I love Star Wars, but I was more of the originals, the original movies, and then I was a big fan of the EU books, the earlier books, the Heir to the Empire and all that stuff. Do you remember Heir to the Empire when they have the frickin' Imperial space shock troopers latched onto the outside of the ships to get in and breach them? How badass was that, dude? They didn't have nothing like that in Star Wars. Like, there's just so much better stuff in those books, and it's just a travesty what Disney did. It's probably the worst out of all the franchises. I'm not a Doctor Who fan. I know the Gary from Neurotic is like a big Doctor Who guy. That's his favorite one. He says that's the worst decimation. I just have never really cared about it to begin with, so my son liked Doctor Who, but he doesn't watch it anymore. It's gone totally nuts, though. I know that. I do agree with that. That's ruined as well. Star Trek's pretty much ruined, except for Picard season 3. So, and then even Star Trek, they might be able to come back from it, I think. But that new show they're coming out with, dude, where it's like, what's it called? Sector 31? Looks horrible. That's Disney CW level crap. I'm trying, that's so bad, dude. Yeah, dude. Yeah, I have to reread those. I just don't want to buy them on audio and give money to Disney. That's the problem I have right now. Yeah, so this going back to the Dune stuff, that rift between Frank Herbert, Brian Herbert, it ain't bad like that. It ain't like he wokeified it or something. He took the lore in a way people didn't like. I guess you could say that he definitely doesn't write the same as Frank Herbert. His style is more whimsical. Frank Herbert's more of a you know, thespian type, you know, more, uh, you know, more passion. I guess you could say the way I always tell people, the Frank Herbert stuff is more of a older romantic way of style of writing, and then the Brian Herbert, it's like a 40K book, or you're reading like a kind of a standard science fiction novel kind of thing. And you know, so it is a stark difference, but the data in there, I like it. You know, I like the information, I like the lore. You know, so that's basically, it's just, that's the way I can try to explain that. So yeah, all the stuff I was talking about, the Balerian Jihad, they fight the machines. Battle of Corrin is where the Harkonnen, because these 3 books happen over about 80 years or so, I think. And but Xavier's dead, but Xavier Harkonnen sacrifices, because what happened is there's like a human zealot that comes out of this too. Iblis Ginjo, he's like the herald to the Butlerians, and he's kind of like basically being shady behind the scenes, and he doesn't care how many people die, fighting you know, all that stuff. He doesn't care, and he's basically using humanity for his own personal glory, you know. And then he's actually colluding with a Siamek behind the scenes, all this stuff. They find out he's a threat to the humanity, really, and so they fly him into a sun. Xavier Harkonnen flies him into a ship into a sun to burn him up and kill him, and then he kills himself in the act, and then he gets blamed for it, right? Then his heirs change their name. They finally change their name back to Harkonnen, but then at the Battle of Corrin, the final battle, there's so much more information going on in these books than what I'm telling you, but like you have the Fremen starting to freaking get balls because they're just basically cowering in the desert in this book, the early Fremen, and they're just getting their asses handed to them by slavers and all kinds of stuff. They finally grow some balls and they start killing people that come into their territory. And then, but Battle of Corrin, the final battle, cut it short, straight to the chase. Humanity finally corners AI to one planet, Corrin, and then there's a final battle. Then you have Abelard Harkonnen, which is mentioned in the show. Abelard, he basically he goes in there and sabotages the fleet's kind of the fire control room to synchronize the human fleet firing on the planet, because Vorian Atreides, he's gonna fire through the slaves that are in canisters in orbit. So the AI they call it the bridge of, I can't remember the term. They create this giant, like, moving bridge of canisters and containers, shit floating in the atmosphere, of all human slaves, millions and millions and millions of human slaves, as a human shield kind of thing, literally a human shield. And Vorian is like, screw it, we gotta fire through him, screw him, we gotta kill the AI at all costs. And then he freaks out, no, you gotta save him, the Harkonnen guy, and he sabotages the fire control system. It gets stopped. What they didn't know was that Erasmus had like basically raised the human boy and made him smart, who was the first Mentat, Gilbratus, and he wants him to live. So he basically sabotages I can't remember exactly what he did. He sabotages Omnius on that planet, and the defenses kind of go down, and then humans can sweep in, but they didn't know that. You know, the humans didn't know that that's why they got in so easy. But there's a lot more going on behind that. They cloned Serena Butler. She got killed earlier, and there's a lot of stuff going on. There's a clone of her that's just because he wanted to clone Serena Butler, Erasmus. He makes a clone of her, and she's just a doofus. She's just like Hawk Tuah girl. And, you know, when she was really smart, the real one, because a clone doesn't mean you copy all their memories at that point, the way he did it. Oh yeah, Kato, I'm sorry. Yeah, it's like so all the books are on Audible. All the audiobooks, the unabridged, they're all on Audible. All of them. So if you have an Audible account and you got free tokens, go buy yourself Butlerian Jihad, start there, Yeah. Okay. So these books. So, but Battle of Corn ends it. Then it's like 100 something damn years later. Thorin Atreides has life extension. He doesn't age, but he's still around. So Sisterhood of Dune is when you get to young Valia, young Tula. The flashbacks from Dune Prophecy is happening within Sisterhood, Mentats, and Navigators. That's the next trilogy. Okay. Yep. And then basically the direct prequel to Dune Prophecy is a short story right here called Imperial Court. It's a short story in the compilation book Sands of Dune, and that is where Wilhelm. It takes place about 21 years before Dune Prophecy, and it's Wilhelm Atreides, and it's when Roderick, he's the emperor in the show, not Roderick, Javico takes over as emperor at like 24 years old. So it's when he comes to power. It's a short story though. It's not like a full book. And it's about Javico trying to figure out who's going to be his main herald in the court and all that kind of thing. And it's the Atreides and the Harkonnens trying to get. This one's real Game of Thronesy. This whole short story is real Games of Thronesy, where basically the Harkonnen poisons himself essentially to act like he's dead and try to blame it on Atreides, but then the other Harkonnen that did the poison to him, oh, don't worry, I have the antidote. I'll bring you out of the slump, the coma. He's like, okay. And then he brings him back, but he's all retarded and stroked out. And then that guy's like, yo, sorry. But he yells Canley in the Imperial Court against the Atreides and then blasts him with this pistol he smuggled in front of everybody. So that's just basically like they haven't mentioned that at all in the show, that whole incident. But it's just another example of why the Harkonnens hate each other. See, at the end of Navigators, that's when you get the most tidbits of information, like Hula's love baby with Ori and all that. This is the books that the flashbacks are happening in from the show. Okay, so all kinds of stuff going on in these books too. Erasmus is still around. The first Mentat, Gabrata starts the Mentat school. Their sisterhood is kind of, forming. Space folding is privatized at this point. There's a whole issue with that. The space navigators, like the mutated ones, are all in this book. The first space navigator, Norma Senva, she's in these books too. She's the one that worked for Tia Holtzman. But that's a whole side plot. I mean, I could get into hours on this stuff. And then, so after Navigators of Dune, basically Imperial Court, you have essentially 10,000 years. Boom! House Atreides. That book. So that book starts off with like the Baron is young and not fat yet. Baron Harkonnen. And House Atreides. You have young Duke Leto. He's like a little kid. And all kinds of stuff going on there. And the first scene, one of the first scenes of the book, the Harkonnen, Baron Harkonnen, he's on an ornithopter and they're like looking at a freaking spice harvesting operation. And then he's like flying. He's like, what's that sensor reading? And they're like, what? We don't know what's going on. The sound shroud. And they see their first spice plume blowout that they've ever witnessed. And it's this cool scene where they have to get the hell out of there. Oh my god! It blows up, and everything's getting sucked in. It's not a worm; it's a spice plume, and they're trying to like, what the hell's going on? They haven't really figured out that it's they haven't figured out that it's the sand trout doing everything. But like, Hines gets assigned to Arrakis by the Emperor. There's a whole scene of that. It's badass. And this is Brian Herbert books though. This is when it's really like House Atreides. These books are like really like the prequels to Dune, like what happened in the 80 years up to, the 40 years even before, 40, 50 years before the events of Dune. Pretty cool stuff. Yeah, you have House Atreides, House Harkonnen, House Carino. This basically goes through all those. These are all Brian Herbert books. Princess of Dune, Duke of Caladan, Lady Caladan, Hair, and then you have Hair of Caladan, and then bam, then we get into Frank stuff. Bam. Dune. Yeah, and then we get Paul of Dune is a direct sequel to Dune. Brian Herbert book. And this is one of my more favorite ones because Paul of Dune. So it shows like a whole bunch of numbers here, but you got to think most of these are only the black ones are books. The bold. Yeah, novels are bold. Tells you right there. So yeah, it's like 17 or something like that. I can't remember. I'll go through and count an exact count. Let's go look here. My stream's going way longer than I anticipated, guys. I'm gonna have to cut it short here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Oh, it's more than 17. 24? 24 books? I thought it was always said 17. I don't know why I always say that. But anyways, yeah, so I got that number off. But anyway, so Paul of Dune is the direct sequel. So it's 4 years after Dune, and it's the jihad. And it's badass. Fremen don't know how to fight in water, so he has to build like this pressurized swimming pool, training pool on an Arrakis. He throws them in. They can't swim. They're assaulting Kaitain. Gurney leads a bunch of Fremen to assault some planet, and they're just massacring men, women, and children. Gurney has to like stop the lead Fremen from like freaking murdering people, so he murders him, or he puts him like basically for defying his orders. There's all kinds of stuff going on in that book. It's great. Winds of Dune's awesome. It takes place after the Messiah because Lady Jessica's back on Caladan with Gurney, and then they get a messenger shows up. Hey, because well, I don't want to ruin it because the movie's gonna come out, but we all kind of already know what happens. Dune walks off in the desert and disappears, right? And they come and hey, where's Paul? He walked off in the desert to be eaten by Shia LaBeouf, which we know he comes back. But regardless, yeah. But that's the basic. I should make a whole video about this, but it's Christmas time, so now I'm at the probably. I really get into it, guys. I really get into it. I like these books. Dune is my favorite. The first Dune, of course, is my favorite because it's just so descriptive. It's really a story. It's really the story of Paul and his mom. If you really look into it, the survival. It's like a survival almost. And when they're traveling through the desert, there's so much more information in Dune about them surviving the spice wave collapses, the dune collapses on them, and there's a lot more survival going on in the. But yeah, guys, I'm sorry to cut short this. I'm gonna have to cut the stream. Got family stuff. We're packing for a trip, so I'm gonna have to cut it short. I will be live tomorrow though. Still, I will be live after Dune Prophecy final episode, so stay tuned for that. Do you guys want more of the outlines of these books? And I haven't read all of them. Actually, some I haven't read all of them yet. Some of them I haven't read. Yeah, so that's a lot of reading, guys. I haven't read Princes of Dune. I haven't read these Dukes and Hares yet. These ones right here, and Carino. There's these middle Brian Herbert books I haven't read. I just only looked into them. Yeah. So, but yeah, I'm planning on reading all these and then and getting more information for you guys. So, until then, I will see you guys tomorrow night around 9:30 Central. Yeah, this went over a lot of shit. But if you do watch the show and you have questions, I'll fill in all the information because I'm the most familiar with those early 6 books. So that's what the show's based on. So I'm very familiar with those books. So all right, guys, I gotta go and help pack and do things, and then I'll see you guys tomorrow night at 9:30 after post show. And I will talk to you later.
Water's precious drops we claim. In Arrakis lives our name. From the desert we derive strength to conquer, strength to thrive. Light the world, hold on tight. Through the storm, through the night. Call the banners of the brave. Sands of Arrakis will not cave. Harkonnen's grip begins to fade. In shadows deep, our plans are laid. Prophecies in blood are sealed. In the dunes, our fate revealed. Harkonnen's grip begins to fade. In shadows deep, our plans are laid. Prophecies in blood are sealed. In the dunes, our fate revealed. Bene Gesserit weave their schemes.